On January 23, 1556. Before sunrise, the ground beneath China's Shaanxi Province began to move. There was no warning, no sirens, no way to escape. Within minutes, entire cities collapsed. Mountains cracked open, and more than 800,000 people lost their lives. This was not just an earthquake. It was the deadliest natural disaster in recorded human history. Today, we explore the 1556 Shaanxi Earthquake, why it was so devastating, and how human choices turned a natural event into a catastrophe. The earthquake struck during the Ming Dynasty, in a region known as the Loess Plateau. This land was made of loess, a fine, powdery soil carried by wind over thousands of years. Loess is fertile and easy to dig, but it is also unstable. When shaken, it collapses like dry sand. For centuries, people in this region lived inside the earth itself. They carved homes directly into cliffs. These cave dwellings, called yaodong, were warm in winter and cool in summer. They seemed safe, until the ground moved. Historical records describe a terrifying scene. The earthquake struck early in the morning, when most people were still asleep. The shaking lasted only seconds. But it was enough. Cliffs collapsed. Cave homes caved in instantly. Entire villages vanished. In some areas, the ground opened up, swallowing houses whole. Rivers changed course. Mountains cracked. There were no rescue teams. No emergency medicine. No way to reach buried survivors. If your home collapsed, survival was a matter of pure luck. Why did this earthquake kill more people than any other in history? It wasn't just the strength of the quake. It was where, and how, people lived. More than half the population lived in cave dwellings. When the lowest cliffs collapsed, escape was impossible. Add to that, dense population, poor construction materials, lack of disaster knowledge, and the result was catastrophic. The official death toll was around 830,000, but many historians believe the true number may have been even higher. Entire families disappeared, whole generations were erased. The Shaanxi earthquake reshaped Chinese history. Entire regions were depopulated. Farmland was abandoned. Migration patterns changed. More importantly, it changed how people thought about earthquakes. Builders slowly began to avoid unstable cliffs. Later dynasties recorded seismic activity more carefully. Though science was centuries away, this disaster planted the earliest seeds of earthquake awareness. It was a brutal lesson, written in lives, not textbooks. The 1556 Shaanxi earthquake reminds us of a hard truth. Natural disasters are unavoidable, but their consequences are not. The earth will always move. The question is, are we building in a way that lets us survive when it does? Nearly 500 years later, the deadliest earthquake in history still whispers a warning from beneath our feet.